Hi everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Spend Less, Scrap More, and welcome to season 6, I guess this is. I like calling them seasons, it's just kind of fun. Anyways, I have these two photos here, and I mentioned in the intro video that I was thinking about doing photos of me when I was younger, and I'm super happy with the way all of the layouts come out. At this point, I'm done with the entire kit. I just have to do the voiceovers and the final recap video, and all of these can go up. Anyways, these two photos that I'm scrapbooking here are, oh gosh, is there a date? I don't even think I don't know the date of these photos currently. I don't know. Anyways, I have some older photos. You know, they used to not put the date on backup photos at all. And so I'm not going to worry about that though. It's just going to go in an album. I'll probably make an album that's just about me separately, I guess. Anyways, these are photos of me when I was in, it's either I want to say probably junior high. At least that's what we call it. I guess they call it middle school nowadays in some places, but I was in choir, and when I saw these photos, I immediately knew I wanted to use that really pretty paper with all those bulbs on it, and because it has the music in the background. Now, you guys know I had mentioned that was going to be a hard one to decide which side I wanted to use. So I cut it down, and I really didn't measure. I just kind of cut so it would be not an even 6 inches, because I didn't want it to be even. I wanted it to be a little offset. Sometimes that can be a little bit more pleasing to the eye. So I went ahead and cut that out, and then I did trim it so it's not the full 12 inches tall. And then also I am taking, as you could probably see here, I'm going to take this pattern paper and I'm going to mount my white cardstock on this as a background. So I really like this as the background. The one thing I think about it is it looks a little different. Either it's this one or one of the other ones. Yeah, the sides, one side ends up having more black lines or whatever than the other sides, but I don't let that worry me. I still and I just have a teeny tiny bit of each of the sides showing after I go ahead and glue the paper down. So I am also inking my edges. Now with my edges, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I had thought about black, but I wanted the pages to stand out just a tiny bit, but not as much as I think a black ink would have made them stick out a little bit. So I decided to try my gray wool, and it worked out pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy because I was worried that it would kind of clash with the creaminess that's in all of this collection. You can tell that those papers are kind of more, it's kind of more of it's not real cream. It's kind of like a beige, like a grayish or something. That's what I think my mom would call it, is grayish. So, so I think that the gray ink ended up working out with it fairly well. So I cut this little photo mat, and it was really hard for me to cut that striped pattern paper, and I didn't even pay enough attention when I cut it, because as if you saw the intro video, you also know that was another one that was super hard for me to decide which side I wanted to use. But I wanted to have that striped candy cane look. Well, I didn't pay attention when I was cutting these, so I did cut them the 4-inch height, so that striped paper is at least 4 inches high. And then I just kind of measured how far over these two photos would be together. Originally, I was going to put them next to each other, sitting upright, and then my journaling underneath one of the photos. But when I put it on there, I kind of wasn't really sure. I kind of was thinking I wanted my journaling to go on the right-hand side of the layout. But in the photo, my grandma's head, and yeah, it's just the back of her head, but it's the fact that she was there. My grandma and grandpa tried to come to my concerts or whatever. So I wanted to keep her head there because that's a memory for me. And I'm also going to add that in my journaling. I don't remember anything about this concert, where we were, nothing. But the other photo, and that's another thing about this layout, is that second photo that you can see there. is of me, and it's super blurry and not very clear. And well, I guess it's kind of clear. It's just, the flash was so bright. But what I like about that photo is the fact that I'm wearing that Santa hat with a candy cane hanging from the side, because I was such a kind of a dork. I wore all kinds of weird, crazy things to school and elsewhere. So I wanted to keep that as part of that picture and add that photo, because I'm pretty sure this is the same day, because I'm wearing a hat and stuff. If you can see me in the back of, which you probably can't in the photo, I'm kind of in the back left. Anyways, so this was a choir concert, and it was a Christmas one. And the photo that you can see with all the people, it does say, I think, Happy Holidays. Is that what it says? Oh, nope, it says Merry Christmas, I think, at the very top of that photo. So I really like that too. Now, I was not sure about my title. I had at least remembered to bring down my wood veneer. I brought down some of my Christmas wood veneer that I'm actually going to get just a little bit used up. I didn't know what I wanted my title to say. You can see on the left there, I have some red stickers out. Then I thought maybe I could try these wood veneers. I have these alphabets, and each one of them, I was missing a letter. And I'm not against, like, you can see the G there. I was actually putting it there to make it look like a C, because I could cut that little part off the G, but it just wasn't working. I couldn't find the other letters. So this one I'm going to get further on. And at the same time, I couldn't decide what I wanted it to say. Choir concert, Christmas concert, I really couldn't decide. And finally I gave up, because I could not find any of the letters that I needed and really wanted. And I was getting pretty frustrated. And that is just another reason that I'm loving my alphabet dies even more, because then I don't have to deal with this stuff. Now, the reason I didn't pull out my alphabet dies is because I want to use up some of my alphabets so that they're not just sitting there not getting used. And I was bound and determined. This is not the only layout you guys have seen me struggle with lately to get my alphabet dies used up. Or not dies, I'm sorry, my alphabet stickers. So I'm going to pull out my alphabet stickers. I'm actually thinking of putting some alphabet stickers, like pulling out the ones with barely any left. And that is going to be a goal for 2021, is to use up those sheets that I pull out. But that's another day, another story for another day. Now I'm just going to play with a few of the stickers. What I really wanted to use on this page was these word phrase stickers, and it worked out. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, maybe there's only 4. I was going to say 6, but it was 4. And what I really like is that they're like the songs, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly, things like that. So I thought that they went really well with this collection, this page, because of the photos, the theme of the page so far. I'm going to play around with this banner. You guys know I struggle with banners. I don't like it. And right now I'm not 100% crazy about the page, but I'm going to keep working at it, and you'll see that it's going to come together. And this is another wood veneer, so I'm going to get some of these snowflakes used up. I was really debating on the brown and how much I liked the brown. I did like the 2 snowflakes down below, but it needed a 3rd snowflake, and so half of these snowflakes that I have are super thin, like they break at the drop of a dime, but they are from a very old Scraptastic Kit Club, and I think I actually even got a grab bag, so I have tons of those snowflakes. But the other snowflakes I have are thicker, and they just kind of clashed a little bit, so it wasn't working for me there that way either. So then I thought maybe if I added like a 3rd cluster. So I'm kind of looking at it now like those Christmas bulbs that are hanging down, and that cluster and the title are all kind of one cluster, giant cluster area. And when I put the stuff up into the right-hand corner, it started to come together. I like the red up there, brought the red up there. I like that hat and the candy cane. Like I said, I have the candy cane hanging from the back of my hat. So that I thought went perfectly there. And, it does somewhat clash with, here, I will mention this really quick. So this is one of my sticker albums. You can see that page is just shoved with stuff that I didn't feel like putting together. but I'm going to pull out all my Christmas ones. So this book is just like a theme one, like Christmas and Halloween. And I will do a video. I have plans to do a video. I just haven't had time. Maybe right after the new year or something, or whenever I can have time. I'm going to do a video because I've gotten a lot of questions. So no, there is currently no video talking about my sticker books, but I will, and I do have plans to do one. So keep an eye out for that to come as soon as I can find time, really. It's a little bit longer because it's one that I have to do, you know, talking, and I can't, like if I'm doing the voiceover right now, I can pause and go help my son or do whatever I need to do. But it's not that easy of a video to make. So anyways, yeah, there will be one though. So now I'm going to start working on the clusters, and from that book I pulled out these snowflakes, and this was kind of a happy accident. I was actually more going for Christmas stuff, and then I saw this little bag of the snowflakes, and I have no idea where I got these snowflakes, and I've had them for years and years and years and years. And you can see there's kind of 3 different colors. There's kind of like a sparkly one, which there will be close-ups in the photos at the end so you can see. This one's kind of a translucent, shiny, I don't know, opaque, not opaque, opalescent maybe is the word I might be thinking. I don't even know if that's right, but I really like the way it looked with the page and the paper. That white kind of sparkly one, it's not white, but it's sparkly, went really well with this collection. So I'm actually going to get all of my snowflakes used up with this series, and except the blue, obviously. I could have added the blue in for fun if I wanted to, but I didn't. So for those glittery ones, I did take a glue dot. No, I didn't do the glue dot. That's what I used for the other one. I'm taking a brad. You can see I added a brad in the middle of just a white. It's kind of not really even a pure white. They were from Close to My Heart. They're older, very old as well. And they are kind of a creamy, but I just used them as the center of those sparkly ones because I knew that the adhesive would show up. And I'm okay with just having the brad holding on to it. So I also, one thing I do with these snowflakes is you can see I'm tucking this one behind and I'm cutting it in half so that I can use that other half somewhere else on the layout. So then I have these mittens, and oh my gosh, these mittens, you're going to see I kind of couldn't get them to sit right. And then I finally get them to sit right, and I decide, because I think I popped that hat up with some foam tape, so I wanted to pop something up in this cluster. Then I realized I finally get them down how I like them, but then I realized the mittens are kind of the wrong way as far as where the thumbs are. And so I'm going to discover that in a minute, and I'm going to play around with that again. And it's going to drive me crazy. But I finally put them back just the way they are now. And next to the mittens, so what I end up doing is taking these journaling strips and putting 2 on the left-hand side with that cluster, and then 2 on the top. And there was only 4, unfortunately. There wasn't any more. I didn't want to use the word stickers that were colors because it wasn't going to go with what I was already doing. But what I end up doing, what I'm thinking is that I want to add journaling strips, and they will mimic those sticker strips very well. And so I'm going to put those down by the mittens, and that's where that will come in. So up in this cluster up here, I also wanted something red to bring the red up there. Now this tree really isn't my absolute favorite thing up there, but it works, and it's a circle, and I feel like it really kind of brings the circles over. I'm going to pop it up with a little bit of foam tape and call that good. It's a little tree. So it's not my absolute favorite piece or cluster, but I also added a couple of the snowflakes. And like I said, here's a couple of those word phrases. So they're going to go up here. I don't have them glued down at this point. I wanted to make sure they were straight first of all. And then I am trimming off the ends a little bit. So you can probably tell when there are stickers on the sheet, they have big ends. But anyways, I trim those off. So now here's where I realize that the mittens are kind of not the right way. And I pull them up, and I actually rip this mitten on the left, or on the right now, that's on the right. And I'm like, okay, how do I make this work? Another thing I didn't like about it is the angle they were sitting. They weren't really angled. So keep in mind, the still shot photos won't have my journaling. I didn't do my journaling at this point. Oh, and I even took off the foam adhesive and put it on the other mitten. And then I'm going to put it back on the first mitten. It was one of those things, right? It happens to the best of us. Anyways, I didn't like the angle they were at, knowing I was going to have journaling strips. So what I was saying is that the still shot photos at the end won't have the journaling strips on them. I haven't done my journaling yet. I really want to think about what to say, but the last thing I'm going to add on here is just some gems that I have from Pretty Pink Posh. And so I recently got this little tray from scrapbook.com, and I can leave a link to that below. It works perfect when you're using gems. I was actually hoping to add a gem to each one of those bulbs, but I didn't realize that only 2 of them had a bow. And I'm trying it out, adding them just to the top of the bulbs, whatever you call those things. The ornaments, but I end up adding only 1 to each of the ones with the bows. It just looked a little funny having it on the other ones. It didn't look right, but I feel like it picks up the sparkliness from the snowflake. So there you can see the snowflake. And I actually didn't realize that it went over the picture, but I'm okay with that because it's see-through. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this scrapbook video, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you, and bye.